Climate change is the long-term change in average weather conditions. The Earth's climate is currently changing dramatically as the direct result of greenhouse gas emissions from human activity. Climate change is one of the greatest environmental, social, economic, and political crises humankind is facing, but it is also an incredible opportunity to work together to design creative, innovative strategies, policies, and technologies. This year, I had the opportunity to attend the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Conference of the Parties, also known as UNFCCC COP, which is an annual climate change summit. This year's COP22 was held in Marrakesh, Morocco. Climate change is a global issue. COP is a way for almost 200 countries to come together and discuss the best ways to move forward on the mitigation of and adaptation to climate change. At the core of COP is the negotiating process for international treaties, accords, and agreements on climate change, but the list of attendees is quite diverse. Negotiators, national government representatives, provincial, territorial, and state representatives, students, researchers, non-governmental and non-profit organizations, and others all come together to learn and collaborate. COP is so much more than just negotiations, and I hope this video will help highlight what COP means to some of the people I met.
Hi, my name is Larry Hegan. I work for Environment and Climate Change Canada, and I'm one of the negotiators that represents all of Canada in these negotiations at COP22, where the focus this week has been on implementing the historic agreement that was signed last year in Paris and which recently came in the force November 4th. When you read the Paris Agreement, it's a very high-level document. It makes some great commitments to some long-term goals. When we also read the Paris Agreement, you quickly realize there's a lot of what I call devil in the details. There's a lot of things that have to be further figured out to sort of bring this agreement to life. That's what we mean when we talk about implementing the agreement. We got to bring it to life. And so this negotiations that I've been in, there's two things that sort of struck me. One is I'm reminded of just how many parties are part of this agreement. It's like over 190 parties. And how many of them have different views on what's a priority, whether it's mitigation, adaptation, support, and even within mitigation, what's the best way of doing that? We really need to take this momentum we established last year, but we need to deliver on the details. How we're actually going to do this in practice. How is it going to change people's everyday lives? So I guess the second takeaway message is the importance of political leadership. I can only go so far in terms of representing the views of Canada, and the other negotiators in the room can only go so far right now in terms of representing the views in their country. So the political leadership that is needed to bring countries together when we figure out these details is immense, because that helps us as negotiators come together as well.
Hi everyone, my name's Becca Opal. I'm a delegate with the University of Waterloo. Every year we send 3 to 4 students and a couple professors to go to COP and bring back some research for the university. So COP to me is a combination of 3 different things. It's the experience, it's the networking, and it's the learning that comes along with it. So the experience to me is about coming to a new country, a new place, learning about that culture, and living in it for a week or 2 weeks. It's also being able to meet with people from all over the world. It's so neat to walk down a hallway here and see people wearing different kinds of clothes, speaking different languages, but you all have that climate priority as a commonality between you. So there's already something connecting you. And I find that really neat. So that's the experience. The second is networking. So I came here with a specific goal in mind. I wanted to learn more about climate change impacts and adaptation in northern and remote communities in Canada. So I set up meetings with people, with the government of Nunavut, with NGOs that work in the north, people like that. And I'll be writing a report when I go back to the university that will hopefully help students understand about that topic that I'm interested in. So experience, networking, and the last is understanding and learning. Before I came here, I really didn't understand much about the United Nations, what they mean and what they actually affect. just by being in this environment, I'm starting to understand the role that the United Nations plays in global climate action and the roles that the separate countries and organizations also play. Something else I'm learning is kind of the inherent political nature of negotiations, which you can maybe, you know when you read newspaper articles and things, but it's different when you experience it in person. But I think the most important thing that COP can do is help me to understand my role in global climate action. It's showing me where the gaps are in research or capacity, and I can learn kind of how to bridge my skills with those gaps that I see.
Hi, my name's Jenny Leach, and I'm a Vermont Law School student. I'm here with a class taught by Professor Tracy Bach. She has set up a service learning project with Myanmar. Myanmar has a very small delegation, and so as students, we get to help Myanmar attend meetings, we take notes, and then brief the delegates on what's happening at the rest of COP. It's a really great opportunity. It's so important to me personally to be a part of this project because service means a lot, and to be able to provide a service while also taking a class at Vermont Law School is a great combination. The climate is also really important to me, and it means so much to be able to be here and see the energy and the positive direction that the world is going in regards to climate change.
Hi, my name is Annina Altherr. As the Yukon Climate Change Youth Ambassador, COP means three things to me: learning, cooperation, and energy. COP is an amazing opportunity for the world to come together and learn from each other. At COP, there were thousands of side events, posters, displays, and presentations ranging in topic from carbon markets to adaptation and resilience in Indigenous communities to the role of the private sector. COP is also about cooperation. It was amazing to see almost 200 countries come together and agree on climate change negotiations. But cooperation is also about ensuring that everyone's needs are met. One of the roles of the provincial and territorial representatives is to advise the Canadian negotiators on which policies might work well on the ground and which ones might not work as well. The last part of COP for me was the energy. It's hard to describe the atmosphere at COP, but it was one of positivity, of hope, and optimism. COP is a great way to take that energy back to every country that attends, which can then help invigorate climate action around the globe. The negotiations that happen at COP are an instrumental part of climate action, but I hope that this video has helped illustrate that COP is about so much more than just the negotiations. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this process continues to evolve, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds.